Hey, what's up guys? It's Angelina Love, and today's video is going to be a question and answer with Trooper. Kidding. With me. I got your questions. I took the 10 best questions from my Twitter account at actualalove and my Instagram account at aloveforlife222. And so let's just get right to it, shall we? I got them all written down right here. First question, what was going through your mind when you first won the Knockouts title? This is a good question because I have no memory of this at all. I was knocked completely unconscious in that match. I got a major concussion. Sadly to say, it was the first time I won a major title and I have no recollection of it at all. After Velvet and I had tied Kong's hair to the cage, I turned into Taylor Wilde doing a crossbody off the top rope. And I remember like the last thing I remember seeing was like her hips and like midsection just right here. And I used to like taking crossbody bumps like Billy Gunn, who's so incredible. You know, he kind of jumps into it and makes the whole move and bump look so much bigger. And I used to take it like that, but I just think I fed in too close, and I think she jumped high and far and just came right down on my head. And I was out. When you watch it back on YouTube, it was Lockdown 2009, Kong versus me versus Taylor Wilde. And the match was going really good until that moment. And then so you could see like I didn't even really kick out of the pin. I kind of just fell sideways out of it, and then the rest of the match was not how it was supposed to be, which is that's, you know, stuff that happens in wrestling. You have to be able to ad-lib when things like that happen. So Kong's got her braids tied to the cage and she's incapacitated, and I'm unconscious, and Taylor Wilde's live on pay-per-view. So we did end up getting it done. All I remember was coming to at one point and just like looking out into the crowd, and just everybody looked like they were vibrating. It was just like everybody was really blurry and they looked like they were vibrating. And then I kind of blacked out again. And then the only thing I remember hearing was our referee was Rudy, and I just heard somebody yell, "Pin her!" And I didn't know if that meant that somebody was pinning me or if I was supposed to pin someone, but I kind of just looked around and saw Taylor Wilde laying there, and I just kind of crawled over to her and pinned her. And you can tell I have no idea what was going on when I won. I was just kind of sitting there like, all right, cool. And yeah, I when we went dark after that, because it was on pay-per-view, they went into the next segment. Velvet and Rudy had to help me out of the ring. I couldn't coordinate stepping out through the ropes and getting out of the ring. And I kind of got thrown into 4 guys' arms in the back, and they brought me to the trainer, and he checked on me there, obviously. But about a week later, he called me to see how I was doing, and he goes, "Do you know that you asked me if you messed up the finish of the match 27 times? And I said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "You asked me, did I mess up the match? Did I mess up the finish? Did I mess up the match?" He said, "You asked me that 27 times. And he goes, "Each time I answered you, but your brain wasn't comprehending that I was giving you an answer. So you were thinking that you weren't getting an answer, and you just kept asking." And I was just like, wow, concussions are no joke. So yeah, the first time I won a major title, I was unconscious, and then we watched it back at TV at Universal Studios the next day. And I remember Bobby Roode asked me, he's like, "You remember any of this?" And I was just like, nope. It is very weird to watch yourself look like with your eyes open, like you are somewhat of a functioning human being, and having no recollection of that at all. It's crazy. The other Knockouts titles, victories, I do remember. My first one, though, I do not, unfortunately. So thank you for that question. Second question, what's the first piece of merchandise of yourself that you looked at and went, holy cow? I think it was when I got my action figure. I know, like, when you get like the company 8x10 and like your name's on it and the company logos on it, like that's super cool. And then Velvet and I got the Beautiful People t-shirts. which we just loved. Cleansing the world, one ugly person at a time. But then when you get your action figure and you actually see yourself in action figure mode, I forgot to get mine. I'm gonna get them really quick, hold on. All right, here we go, guys. So this is super cool. When you get to see yourself in action figure form. That was actually my second one. And then this was my first one, my silver outfit. And I actually have one of these ones unboxed, and my son plays with it, and it's cool because at first I would be like, "That's Mama," and he kind of look at it and look at me, and now he gets it and he'll hold it and he'll be like, "Mama." It's the cutest thing. So definitely having a toy of yourself is pretty cool merchandise. So let's see, number 3. What inspirations did you have for your ring gear, and how did you come up with your entrance/theme song? So when we first got hired by TNA, I'll start with the theme song first. The Beautiful People, you know, super iconic, no pun intended, no pun intended, people, entrance music. When we first got hired, I remember JB had emailed me because they were wanting to get entrance music made for all the new girls, and just kind of asked me like what my favorite bands were, and I was just like, Korn, Linkin Park, Avenged Sevenfold, 3 Days Grace, and you know, they kind of just took what we liked and kind of made their own thing. And I think Dale Oliver knocked it out of the park, because I think the Beautiful People entrance music, everybody knows it when they hear it, and I think it was a huge hit. So that's how we came up with that. And then I didn't really have any human inspirations for my ring gear. It was just like my personal taste. I went through like a very punky, rocky princess stage when I was in TNA. So my thing was just like, I got some stuff from Hot Topic, I got some stuff online, I got some stuff made. I would just kind of go to stores and just find pieces and put them together with like my super platform boots and tiaras and all that kind of stuff. So it was just kind of going with whatever phase of life I was in and whatever kind of clothes I liked as well. So I want to give a shout out to Vicky. This is from Steve. Vicky is battling leukemia, and I just want to say, Vicky, you are a true warrior, and my heart goes out to you, and prayers go out to you. Stay strong, and I know that you're going to get through this. So God bless you, Vicky. Okay, question number 4. You've been in movies. Are there any other actresses you admire or look up to? Yeah, acting is ridiculously fun. Actresses that I like, I think Angelina Jolie, and not just because we share a name, I think she's a phenomenal actress. I really like those badass kind of fight scenes that she does, and I think those kind of roles would be really fun. She's really versatile with her acting, but I think like a Mrs. Smith kind of role would be awesome, or even like a Tomb Raider kind of role would be awesome. I also really like Julia Roberts. I think she's timeless, and I think she's classic. And she also can do any kind of movie and any kind of role. She's extremely believable. She's extremely talented. She's beautiful. I adore her. And then also Kristen Wiig. I think she's hilarious. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Bridesmaids. All I gotta say is Bridesmaids. I'm not a chick flick kind of girl, but that movie is hilarious. I love that movie. Kristen Wiig is awesome. So thank you for that question. Question number 5. As an aspiring wrestler, what's the best advice you could give about the pro wrestling business? So I always say just follow your dream. There's going to be a lot of people, it happened to me, you know, being a female, and this goes for male and females getting into the business. Don't ever let somebody tell you that you can't follow your dream or accomplish your dream. Pro wrestling is tough, and you have to have a thick skin. You absolutely have to have a thick skin for this business, and you've got to be very smart and very business savvy as well, and you've got to believe in yourself, because there will be a lot of people who do believe in you and support you, but there will also be a lot of people who don't, and if you're sensitive to that, that can be really damaging to how you feel about your progression and your success and what you want to do and what you believed is your dream. So definitely have a thick skin and stick with it. Become a student of the sport. Watch what came before you. You know how to do what you want to do in the ring. Don't just say you know how to do it just for the sake of saying it, and then you go out in the ring and then you don't really know how to do anything. Know how to do what you say you can do, and study, get new ideas. Wrestling is a business and a sport where like you're nonstop learning all the time. There's always something to learn and someone to learn from. So keep an open mind, stay strong, thick skin, study, 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 and don't ever give up. That is my advice on getting into pro wrestling. Let's see. Out of all the times you have been to the UK, which city holds a heart to you, and which city was the loudest? So I love the UK. I love going to the UK. It is so fun, and the wrestling fans there are awesome. I love the UK. I want to say London was probably my favorite place to go. We've been to many places and I love them all, but I just remember when we did the TNA UK tour, I think it was January 2009. Oh my gosh, we finished it off at the O2 in London, and there was like 10,000 people there, and they were loud, and that show was so fun. That whole tour was really fun, but I just remember being like, yes, London rocks. Like, it was super fun. So London, I love you. Oh, here we go. What works best for getting a cranky child to calm down? Doesn't every parent want to know? Oh gosh, I'm not full of answers for that. I have some. Every child's different. My son, when he was, so he's almost 3. When he was a baby, if he ever got cranky, like especially at nighttime, I always found that warming up some milk in a bottle and giving it to him while he laid down, that was a lifesaver quite a few times. He's never been like a temperamental kid, even when he was teething, but I always thought that that was like a very soothing thing for him when he would go to sleep, was to have warm milk in a bottle. Now he's not a terrible 2s or terrible 3s, but he's definitely coming into a lot more of a sassy pants personality, and it's hilarious because like he cracks me up even if he's not happy. But sometimes I just kind of let him do his thing, especially if we're just here at home, and I just kind of talk to him because I don't ever want him to think that if he's having any kind of a meltdown or something that it's wrong, you know, because it's not wrong. He's just expressing how he feels, and I don't get frustrated with him. Even though he doesn't really know what I'm saying, if I try to talk with him about it, I want to kind of get that rapport between us built, starting from a young age, where if he's feeling a certain way, you know, he can express it, and, you know, mama's going to be there to talk to him about it and like listen if he wants to talk about it too. Sometimes he's a little dramatic and I just laugh when I watch him do something, and then usually that makes him laugh, and then we're already over it. So, yeah, you just got to see what works for your baby. As a parent, you got to try a lot of different things. Just like when you feed them, they're going to hit a point where they don't want to eat anything you put in front of them. So you got to have 6 different dinner options. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to calming a cranky child. So I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for that question. All right, question number 8. What would you say is your greatest accomplishment in your life so far? Well, that just goes straight back to what I was talking about. 100,000,000%, having my son was the greatest accomplishment ever. Going from a single, you know, just a single doing your own thing in your own life woman to, you know, bringing a child into this world and taking on the role as a mother. There's nothing greater than that. In my opinion, that's how I feel. There's nothing greater than being a mom, and he's definitely my biggest accomplishment, my biggest love. You know, I'm very proud of my career and everything I've done. I've been extremely blessed, and there's still more to come, but 100% my son is definitely my biggest accomplishment and my biggest love. Question number 9. What do you think was the reason the beautiful people have been so successful and had such an impact on women's wrestling? Because we've seen so many teams, but no one got to your level ever. Well, thank you for that. I think the reason that Velvet and I were so successful was we were just very believable. We weren't trying to act or, you know, really trying to play these roles that were difficult for us. Velvet and I clicked right away. And, you know, we came up with the idea of being a tag team because when TNA started the Knockouts division, like every girl was just doing their own singular character, and we wanted to do something different. So we thought, why not do like have a stable or do a tag team or something like that? So, and you know, we have a lot of similarities with how we dressed in the ring, and you know, we always wear makeup, hair done, glitter and high heels and all that kind of stuff. So, and we both have the same very sarcastic sense of humor. We still, if we haven't been around each other for like 2 or 3 months, like the second we're around each other, we're like saying the same things and finishing each other's sentences. Like it just happens when we're around each other, and we just click and we just work. And I think having like that legitimate friendship behind it too, made it easy for us when we were in front of the camera to just like be ourselves, amped up on the bitch scale to 100 with a ton of glitter. And it was fun, it was believable, it worked. Vince Russo, we'd do a backstage segment and Vince Russo would be, one take, all right, and he'd clap his hands, thank you ladies, and off they went, and you know, everything just worked. And I think at the time that we were doing it, the timing was perfect. I think wrestling needed that, I guess, stable, I don't know, it just needed what we were doing at that time. I think everybody was looking for it, and it just, you know, it was so accepted by the fans, and it was so fun to do. And like I said, Vince just gave us the ball and let us run with it, which we're so grateful for. And I think everybody ate it up. And, you know, 11 years later, almost 12 years later, like, you know, Velvet and I still do appearances together. We still, you know, fans are still wanting to see us together. And that to me is amazing to have that longevity. I think that's a testament to how well her and I work together, is having that longevity of the love and support of the fans still wanting to see us do something big somewhere, which I'm sure we will still. So we love that. And I think that, you know, that's really why her and I worked. It was just great chemistry and great timing and a lot of support from our superiors and from the fans as well. So, I mean, time of my life, absolutely time of my life doing the Beautiful People. Like, we were rocking and rolling, man. It was so much fun. So thank you for that question. Last question. Why did Impact stop allowing you to let the pigeons loose? And what was your reaction to the censorship? So we don't really know why Impact at the time had us stop letting the pigeons loose, because that was such, you know, a huge part of our entrance, and like that was the point, because that was what our characters were. I know their thought process behind it was like, yeah, but you guys are heels, and you know everybody wants to see you guys shake your asses, so you shouldn't give it to them. And we were just like, we don't agree with that. We don't agree with that, because even in doing it, it's still going to piss people off, just like it would in not doing it. And, you know, that was such a big thing for us. Like I said, it was, you know, we were like the sexy kind of princess bitches, and that was our thing. It was like, you know, shake it, but you can't touch it and you can't have it. And I think they were like, yeah, but you really shouldn't. And we were like, no, but we were being good company girls, and we were just doing what we were told. So I think that they had just thought like, you know, you guys are heels, you shouldn't give it to them. It should be like a, you want it? No. And we were like, yeah, but we did not agree. We thought it was very ridiculous to not let the pigeons loose. And it kind of sucks watching those entrances now, because I just kind of see myself going like, and I'm just like, ugh, it's so cheesy. But yeah, like I said, we were just doing what we were told. But now, you know, when we do our entrance, we don't worry about that anymore, because we don't have anybody telling us we can't do it. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for that awesome Q&A. I'm sure we'll do this more than once. I'm going to tag everybody's names underneath their questions so that we all know who they came from. And I super appreciate you guys. I will have some more fun videos on my channel about Angelina coming up for you guys soon. All right, guys. Bye-bye.